Hi guys, I'm Mikey and welcome back to another video. Now, if you use social media and you like using social media and social apps, you probably heard of or used the app called BeReal. Now, back in 2022, 2023, I know me and my friends used to use this app regularly. You know, we thought it was fun, we liked it. It was a bit of like fun 2 minutes of your day, just taking a picture of what you're doing. So basically what you do is you take a picture of what you're doing. So you take a selfie and you also take a front view with a front camera at the same time, and you'll create interesting little image cards like this. However, after a few months, guess what? The novelty wore off. People weren't as motivated to use it anymore. People were tired of seeing their friends on the couch, seeing their friends just doing absolutely nothing. And as you can see on this BeReal.com website, the examples here, although they may look real, they are not real. There is not a chance, maybe once in 1,000 times, you are going to be mid-air skiing and take a picture. Once in 1,000 times are you going to be randomly at a concert and you can take a photo when the BeReal notification goes off. So these examples here are actually fabricated and are not as real as BeReal tries to promote. I had an interesting idea. What if BeReal could be turned into a dating app called BeDating? A similar concept, but without the novelty and an actual focus on creating meaningful connections, because the connections you really make on the existing BeReal app are already connections you already have. So you already know your friends, and you may know a lot of your friends of friends as well. So we're going to try and turn BeReal into a dating app called BeDating, and to do that we're going to be using a tool called MagicPath. And if you've never heard of MagicPath before, MagicPath is an AI-powered design tool. Imagine Figma and ChatGPT had a baby, and we're going to be using that to prototype how this new app would look like. But before we get into that, let's go through some research and some ideation using online resources. So in Gemini, I've had a long conversation and I found out what works with BeReal, what didn't work, and what we can take forward into our new app, BeDating. And I've also got a list of screens and user flows that we're going to create in this video. And I've also searched up on the internet some Figma or BeReal UI, and I've got some Figma stuff that we can use as well. So here you can see this nice community file that is similar to BeReal or is BeReal, and we can use that to use as an inspirational reference when we're creating our own screens. Elsewhere, you can just go and dribble and search up BeReal or a similar app and find inspiration. And as you can see, I like this one, so I screenshotted this and I've put it in my Figma file. And I've also gone on Mobbin, and Mobbin is a great site for finding app screens and inspiration. And here you can see the different app screens that Mobbin has, so we can use as inspiration as well. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to actually redo the whole design system and design language, because I'm going to be honest, when you look at this design system, design language of BeReal, I'm not really surprised in the drop-off. There's nothing really that's inviting people to come back in. It's simply plain black and white. I know they're trying to go for this not a social app kind of vibe, but it just looks really boring. So we're going to actually revive and revamp the whole entire color scheme and design system. To do that, we're going to use TweakCN, and I'm just going to play around with some of these and use AI as well to help me enhance the design system in code, and then I'm going to show you the finished result. And I'm thinking I want something more elegant, so I'm going to go into this app called Typeva. It's actually an app I've actually made myself. I'm going to say I want to create an elegant semi-luxury dating app, and click on generate suggestions. And what Typeva is going to do is going to give me some font suggestions that I can use, all free from Google Fonts or FontShare, and it's going to give me some like combinations as well, so I don't have to worry about the heading and the body text. It can be a combination of both, so I can use as well. Okay, so it's giving me these here, and it's giving me play fair display, Cormorant Garamond. So okay, I probably want to go something more serif, so yes, I'm going to go in that serif heading direction, and maybe pair it with a clean sans serif font as well. So let's see what the font pairing suggestions are. Okay, so play fair display and Satoshi. Okay, so these are the font suggestions. Let me try and iterate on this, and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, after refining my suggestions a few times, I think I'm going to choose instrument serif. Now, if you're a designer and you're on X, you know that this font is very much overused in terms of serif fonts, but I think it will work perfectly for our app. So I'm going to use this font, and I'm also going to see what pairings it suggests to me. I think I'm going to use Inter. Yes, so perfect, it suggested Inter. So let's use instrument serif and Inter. And the great thing is they're both free Google fonts, so there's going to be not too much there needed to actually integrate them into MagicPath. So I'm just going to select the fonts I've chosen. So sans serif, it was Inter, and then this was instrument serif. And I'm going to play around with the colors and get back to you guys. Okay, so I've decided on a theme that I like, so I'm just going to copy the code here and we can take that into MagicPath. Now in MagicPath, I'm just going to create a new theme. So I'm going to click on this, scroll to the bottom, new blank system, import my code, click on apply, and then typography. It says font family is Inter, but we also did load a instrument serif font. So I'm going to try and explain that in the rules. So I'm going to say for headings always use instrument serif and use Inter for body text. And then I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to call this BeDating, which is the app we're going to build. Click on save theme. So the first thing I'm going to do is create our onboarding flow. So we're going to use this information from Gemini, and I'm going to say make a prompt for step 1. I'm going to paste this below. Okay, build pressure onboarding flow for BeDating. I'm going to landing screen with, okay, let's create this screen by screen. And ignore this typo. I'm going to say let's start with screen 1. And let's see this. Prompts, build a mobile outline screen code. Okay, let's use this. So I'm going to copy this, go back to MagicPath, and I'm going to paste. Build a mobile app line screen for BeDating, blah, blah. And at the end, I'm going to say use instrument serif for the headings. I'm going to say make sure it's installed properly. And visible. And I also added some code from Google Fonts. I'm going to see if that actually makes it better at integrating the prompt or the font. So let's see. Okay, we get this, and it's not looking amazing. First of all, I wanted dark mode, and second, the font is not perfect. So I'm going to say make sure you install instrument serif from Google Fonts. Let me try and paste all this code instead. Copy this, go to MagicPath, paste, and I'm going to copy this again, and then paste, and let's see if this works. And boom, it works. Now the next thing is that I want fully rounded corners, and I've just realized the fatal mistake I've made. I didn't select my theme, which is probably why it didn't work. So let me actually do this again, and this time actually select the theme that I just created, and can use this as well. Copy this. And then actually select my theme this time. I'm going to see a difference, and then at the end I'm going to say make it dark mode using our dark mode B dating theme styling. Press enter and it should create it in dark mode using instrument serif. Okay, so this is what we got, and it's looking a lot better than this one. You can just see the power of themes, and this should be using insert, so I think it already is using insert, which is good. Gonna click on cancel. Yeah, I think it is using insert, which is good, and we've got our first screen here. Okay, now I'm going to build the next screen, and I'm going to say use instrument serif for headings, and click on enter, and hopefully it should work. And then while we're waiting for that, we're going to do the next stage, which is step 2, which is the discovery feed, and hopefully it looks good. So I'm going to paste it in here, but I'm also going to go and get some inspiration and some visual interface that I can paste along with it for extra context. So we've got this screen here, and what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to screenshot this, and I'm going to just give it to MagicPath. I'm going to paste at the end. I'm going to say use the image attached for a reference of the dual camera / screen interface cards and feed. We put if you scroll down you see more. I'm going to paste this. I'm going to see what it does. Okay, I didn't actually make this dark mode, which might be another mistake I did. So let me make this dark mode. Make this screen dark mode. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go back into themes, and I'm going to click on my new theme, go back to rules. I'm going to say always use dark mode as default. Click on save, spell this properly, and hopefully it takes this into account when creating screens in the future. Okay, so this actually looks beautiful. However, it's scrolling sideways like Tinder, and I didn't ask for that, so I'm going to try and refine this. Please make it scroll down, so when you scroll down you see another profile. Each profile should have only one main photo and a camera view. See the image attached. And I'm just going to paste this image again. Just going to copy and paste this image again, and hopefully it understands. I'm going to say, do you understand? Don't implement yet. And what this is doing is just asking and making sure that the AI actually understands what we want to do before it actually goes and uses our credits to actually make this. So let's see. Each photo takes up the whole height, one main photo, camera view, scroll down. Okay, so it understands most of it, but I should have specified I don't want it to take up the full screen. No. I'll say no, each profile should not take up the whole height, but it should take up about, I'd say this is about 70% of the screen, but roughly about. Screen height, do you understand? Repeat everything and all instructions back to me. Don't implement. Now let's see if it understands this. Each profile card takes a different screen. One main environment photo fills a card. Small selfie camera view for the frame. Perfect. So implement now. So unfortunately it's not quite implemented the scrolling down, and it's still doing this Tinder style swiping, so I'm gonna create another prompt to fix this, and if it doesn't fix it this time I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing, but I'm gonna use all this as context to give to an LLM to then help me recraft the prompt. Okay, with another iteration we're finally getting somewhere. Now a few tweaks we probably want to make. I probably want to make this text a bit bigger. As you can see the font size is a bit small, so let's say the text size should be 18, and then these emojis, if we got edit mode, okay, they're fine. So let's say make the text sizes a bit bigger and make the cards a bit longer. So that's what I'm going to do. Make each profile card a bit taller so that the one below is peeking above the fold, and also make the name text and body text a bit bigger. Let's press enter there. Okay, we are getting somewhere and it looks good. So as you can see I can react to this and it looks quite good. So how this will work is that if you react to someone positively and they do the same to you on any of your posts, then you'll match. So let's create some other screens and some other flows. So we're going to create the matches screen, and I've got my prompt, and at the end I've said use this screen by pressing the @ and then selecting the screen for visual design reference. So I'm going to paste that. I'm going to see what it does. And I'm also going to create the messaging screen as well. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press use, press use, press app, and discovery feed, and let's say for visual design reference. Press enter. And you can see we've got our two screens here, which look really nice and fit the vibe of the other screens as well. Now obviously I've only done this in about 10-20 minutes, this whole process, but if you spend more time on it you can refine this. Maybe you can, instead of using emojis, you can use icons. You can maybe clean up a little bit, add a status bar, add a nav bar as well. So let's actually create a few more components. So let's create a nav bar, and let's create a card that shows up when you have a new match. So we have our little nav bar or tab bar here, which is nice and clean and simple, and we have this new match notification card as well. Click on refresh, we have this nice animation. So as you can see, if you just keep on building, you can soon build a collection of components and screens that you can then go down here and turn into a library, and then you can reuse in other projects, share with other people as well, share with your team, and you can then create a consistent and great looking library which you can then translate into other things. Maybe you want to create a marketing page or a landing page or a web app. You can use this sort of design language and this theme and these components to help you create that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That was a quick demonstration on how you can create a dating app using an existing platform and revamping it. So we took BeReal and we turned BeReal into a dating app. I'd appreciate if you left a like and subscribe for more MagicPath tutorials and more AI and design videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.